Hey guys, Grumpy here with another short compilation of videos. This one is more so focused on colony management and what's going on in the background. So to briefly summarize, I visited the core worlds, yoinked a bunch of equipment from the hedge, and then also dealt with a couple of colony crises here and there. I will make another mini series. I'm not sure when, but it'll be same style of by the rules as well as fit to fight this ongoing series. But it'll be high tech focused, fitting as we have an Astral in the background. It'll be all high tech ships and it'll be colony driven. So it'll talk through the crisis, how to solve them, what they are, how to pick your colonies, all that. That'll be its own advanced guide. But anyway, enough yapping. Here are some more activities that I got into over the last few days. Doing some more colony management. So, I notice now Syndria is upset because we have entered the fuel producing game. And long term, I was thinking of doing this, but it seems like our plans have been accelerated. Now, in order to stop Syndria from getting annoyed with you, it looks like you have to retrieve their synchrotron core. This one's going to be a lot tougher because the Syndrian base is well defended. Also, you have a lot of Lions Guard. But it's not impossible. And see what we have here. So that's actually not that bad. We'll fight this. They're demodded as heck. We'll fight this, blow it up, and then take the synchrotron core. You know what? I'm actually going to burn a story point here. I think this will stun them, and they won't join the fight. Let me see something. Yeah. So that stuns them because they engaged me recently. So we're going to go ahead and engage the battle station. This is awesome. We should have no problem blowing it up, and then we should be able to conduct a raid. Oh, I didn't check to see if they know who we are, but I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to do this regardless. Big station, so we do have to be careful. I'm not going to deploy myself. Deploy it like this. Put our monitor forward. And then we'll set an engage command. Put the Pegasus on it, and then have you guys actually just... We'll do it like this. I want you guys to support the Pegasus. Like so. I want the monitor to go forward. And then I want an engage command from you two, and then the ships around should provide support. We'll tank up in the monitor so that we can distract these so that we can distract the station, but this should be just fine. We want to wait until our fleet's in position. Oh, just like old times. Alright, go ahead and back off. Get right back to it. Basically what we want to do is we want to control this big node right here. That could be a problem. But any missiles, basically, we want to fire at us instead of going towards our fleet. Even though we have the point defense to soak that kind of damage, it's worth it not to make it harder for the rest of our fleet. We'll go ahead and dump flux here. hide out for just a second. Great. And then we'll go ahead and block. Basically, we want to absorb these Mark 9s. So that's what's going to cause that our ships to overload. All right. Nice. Go ahead and vent. Zoom out so you guys don't get flashbang. We'll move back in. This is the last portion of the station, so this should blow up in a second. And then we have the option to tactically bombard Syndria, but that is going to cause additional issues. I mean, relation problems, but let's see. So we'll claim victory. So they don't know who did it, which is perfect. Anyway, we'll take the core. Suffer no penalty to your standing with the Syrian Diktat. Will not help if forced to turn your transponder on by patrols arriving to investigate the raid. Requires a story point. Yeah. Again, we don't want to become enemies with Syndria, so we'll spend another story point so that we don't have any penalty with them, and then we should be able to continue trading as normal. So we will go ahead. Confirm. Lose 530 Marines, which sucks, but we were successful. We take their core. And now we are going to get out of here. So we'll just transverse jump out. These fleets should still be stunned because they investigated us. And just like a thief in the night, we get out of here. So now if we look at the command screen, or sorry, the intel screen, and we look up colony threats, colony crisis, you'll see that Syndria is no longer contributing to that counter. Hey guys, Grumpy here. I'm trying something out. So I remember going to Tri-Tachyon Worlds and talking, I think, to Ryan Arroyo and trying to cut a deal with Tri-Tachyon so they stop annoying me. Or, well, not annoying me, but like progressing the crisis. It was something about like fight fleets with your transponder off. I think this is what he was talking about. So I'm going to fight this. There's another larger fleet here. I'm probably also going to fight that. I just want to see what's going to happen if we do move into engage. They don't know who we are, so we'll take a small penalty with someone. But I'm just curious to see if this will back the crisis timer. We'll let them go. They don't have any ships that we can recover, so we'll just hit continue. Ah! Okay, so we lose 10 from... So they are considered technically hostile, but we gain 10 from competing exports. Let's see something. Tri-Tachyon Corporation needs to be convinced that continued investment... Oh, and acting against your interests is unprofitable in the long term. If you're able to send this message without becoming openly hostile or smooth any ruffled feathers afterwards, this may even mark you as someone whose understanding of business realities makes them worth working with. Okay. Okay, so we just have to keep blowing. Oh, perfect. I mean, not perfect for Tri-Tachyon, but perfect for me. What's left of monitor? Monitor will probably get away, but we'll see if we can. Yeah, can't engage it. Okay. we will let them go. They do have a champion, so we'll see if we can recover it. We don't. Okay. Drop off the metal. Let's see. Oh, there's another one too. We'll just let our second in command handle this. Okay, so we do lose reputation with Tri-Tachyon if we attack them directly. But does this advance the progress? It does by a lot. That's awesome. So, I found out that bombing the Tri-Tachyon worlds is one, very easy. But 2 gives you 40 progress towards the Tri-Tach crisis per industry you disrupt. So I bombed Scothy, Tribeca, and Port Say because they're all undefended. And I got 240 progress from that. Fought a couple of convoys to reach the 300. So now I'm talking to Ryan Arroyo. He's cutting a deal with me. It says what amounts to increased accessibility for your colonies proportional to the market size and in turn proportional gains to Tri-Tachyon's trade access. So we'll confirm the deal, and this should put a permanent stop to Tri-Tachyon. Consider bombardment. We'll attack bombard them. And the reason being is we want to grab the fullerene spool. We could also destroy the orbital array. We don't care if they know it's us because, I mean, they already don't like us. But we'll definitely take that fullerene spool. And then we have to wait a day before we can launch another raid. Alright, one last time we are bothering the hedge. Might as well get it out of the way. We're going to take the pristine nanoforge from Chimostok. This serves 2 purposes. One, improving the quality of our colony. But secondly, and more importantly, it makes them a weaker competitor in the supplies, heavy machinery, heavy armaments market, which of course is one of the most lucrative markets in the game. So we're gonna go ahead and launch the raid. Again, they already hate us, so there's no point in hiding our activities. Let's get out of here. Over here, manage colony, install item. So we're gonna go for a pristine nanoforge. Increases the ship and weapon production and quality by 50%. Increases production by 3 units versus the 1, if that was an issue. And yeah, I'm also going to spend a story point to improve production by 1. We might as well. Hey guys, Grumpy here with a bounty, 300k bounty midline. I want to kind of use this as a yardstick to measure how much our fleet has grown. So if you recall, we fought a lot against these in the mid game. We were using them to farm the ships actually that we ultimately settled on for our late game fleet. So I just want to demonstrate how much the discrepancy in power between where we started and where we are now. So let's go ahead and move into engage. If you recall, the last time we did this, or well, the last time we had to farm these bounties, we had to be very careful going into the fight. We'll take sensor jammer. We had to be very careful going into the fight, but now we have a lot more point defense. We have a lot more damage. Our officers are pretty much perfect. Everything is triple S modded. Now, I'm not saying that we are going to win this fight with absolutely no casualties. At the end of the day, this is still a midline fleet, so we do need to be careful. But we should win this without much hassle. Right. Also, us being in the Eagle means we get to cause a little bit of chaos and split their fleet up, as well as just go on our own aggressive escapades. All right. So we are going to give the engage command to everyone to go ahead and engage the conquest. We'll wait for the Pegasus to show up, and then we'll make our way over there after we get rid of this hammerhead. All right. Just keep an eye on this. We'll also set up engage orders on those. The reason why I want to engage the conquest first is because it's the most susceptible to our missile spam. It just really doesn't have good defenses. We're just waiting for that Sunder to pop up. Or not Sunder, Conquest. Okay, well, we accidentally killed the Pegasus before we killed the Conquest, which is good. We're gonna back the Vigilance into that, into our fleet. Go ahead and deal with the Monitor. Okay. And now that that's taken care of, we'll go ahead and hit full assaults. And we'll back up just a little bit to let our fleet catch up. So no need for us to rush this part of the fleet down. We'll just provide some support for our champion so it doesn't get overloaded. Back up ourselves, dump that flux. Just serving as a bastion wherever we can. So very easy fight. We tore through that fleet very easily, incidentally killing their capital ships without much concern, and then pressing through the rest of the fleet, destroying the ships as they arrived. Okay, so after all of our hijinks, yoinking domain artifacts from the core worlds and allocating them to our planets, we have Ghosts producing 140k, Banshee costing us 69,000 credits. I have a plan for this, I'll explain it in a little bit. Then we have Wraith pulling in 46,000, Wisp pulling in 2,500, and then our most recently founded worlds being Spectre pulling in 1,500. So Ghost is our farming and light industry world. This was the first one that we settled. We finally built in mining. And for our fourth slot, of course, we are going to build in commerce. This planet is rich, and it is just going to get richer. It's very good hazard rating. We're growing at 2%, even with hazard pay turned off. So when this gets to colony size 6, then and we add commerce, it'll be a wonderful producer. Banshee. Now, Banshee is costing us an arm and a leg. Unfortunately, I can't abandon it. It's not really a good planet to settle. The reason it's so expensive is its hazard rating is 225%, and we're running a Star Fortress and High Command along with heavy batteries, so this is costing us about 30,000. Once we drop that, it'll only be a volatile producer, and then when we turn off hazard pay, it should be profitable at size 6. So right now we're just biting the bullet, but once we get enough growth, then we can get rid of these stations, and we should be earning money at 6. In order to pick up the slack, because we don't want to be without our high commands, this is skipping ahead, but we picked up Spectre, so we're going to have patrol, ground defense, and an orbital station. The main artifacts. Fullerene Spool right now is on Ghost, but it might go to Wraith, and then Soil Nanites on the farm. That's why we're producing 10 units. Mantle Bore, so that we're producing a bunch of ore, both regular and rare, and then the nanoforge that we took from Chicamo stock is in our orbital works, which is why we're producing so many supplies and ship hulls. On Wisp is our fuel producer, so this is where the synchrotron core from Nachiketa came from. We also have another one that we took from Syndria, but this is a size 4 world, already pulling in credits. As it grows in size, well, we'll produce more fuel. The fuel production market is so limited. Really, it's just Syndria and Nachiketa. No one else is producing fuel in mass quantities. We already have almost the same market share as Syndria, as a size 4 world, right, as compared to 7. So we're going to get at least 2 more, so that's 9. And then we can alpha core it for 10, and then we can alpha core the planet itself for another one. And then finally, like I mentioned before, Spectre is going to pick up our military tab. This is where all that's going to go, and it should be dirt cheap because this is a very profitable, very hazard friendly world. Its conditions are hot, so if we find an orbital lamp, we'll be able to bump this from hot to extreme heat. And then if we find a cryorhythmic engine, we'll be able to attach that to, I believe, high command, so that we get larger fleets out. So that's the plan. Hope you guys enjoyed that summary. Other than that, Grumpy out.